So I'm back with the X Squad, and you know, back by popular demand. Excuse me, from what people were asking me about, Navy and stuff like that. So I'm gonna break it down to you. But of course, I smoke my hookah right now, so be taking puffs and stuff like that. So you gotta bear with me. Mind you, if you join Navy or military in general and you smoke cigarettes or hookah or anything like that, stop doing it. Stop doing it months before. Because I'm telling you, if you smoke weed, me personally, I don't smoke weed, but if you smoke weed and you keep doing that before you leave, you're going to get caught. Because they use a system. They don't use the drop stick and the piss test, dude. They use a whole different system. But so I'm gonna talk about my days leading up to after I signed my contract all the way to leaving. Since that's what people are, I guess they're not concerned about it, but they want to know what happens. So I mean, obviously, before you sign a contract, you go meet with a recruiter and everything like that. No matter what branch of the military you're joining, you'll meet with a recruiter. So you meet with the recruiter, and you say, hey, yeah, I'm interested. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say, hey, go do a practice ASVAB. They take you in the back of the recruiting station. You take a practice ASVAB on one of their computers, and it's pretty much kind of like, it's not in depth of what the same thing you're gonna take when you get to MEPS, but the thing that they focus on is like English and the mathematics, and I think it was a little bit of science, but for the most part, it's English and mathematics. So they want to see if you can get a good score on it before they take you to depths, because before you take, to MEPS, because they don't want to waste their time. So they say, okay, yeah, you go back there, take you, score good. If you score good on there, you're gonna score good on the one at MEPS. Sometimes if you score like a 95, right? They might bypass MEPS and say, okay, yeah, you scored 95 on it, so they'll hook you up and stuff like that, right? Well, let's just say you don't score at 95 on it, right? You go down to MEPS. MEPS technically is like, shit, you hurry up and wait. That's basically what it is. You wonder why I got my eyes closed, because of the sun, obviously. But so yeah, you go down to MEPS, whatever. That shit is like worse than the DMV. Yeah, I would say it's like the DMV, but worse. Because in there, obviously, you get to sit down, but you literally gonna be waiting there for hours and hours and hours and hours. Just because you took your you took the ASVAB, don't mean you get to go home. So unless you drove there by yourself or something like that. But obviously, if you take the test, for MEPS, most 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be sitting in there and waiting to get to go home. Most recruiters, like, take for example, let's just say you in California, right? And you in the LA area. You're gonna go to the MEPS down in El Segundo, like I did, right? And some recruiters, like me personally, okay, like my recruiter, right? My recruiter is based out of Lakewood. So me personally, I had to go spend the night at the hotel. It was a nice hotel though, but damn, that shit was terrible, bro. And then, yeah, I had to wake up. I think it was like 3:30 in the morning. Spend the night at MEPS. Woke up at like 3:30 in the morning. And then, we got to eat and stuff like that. Then we had to board the buses like 4:30, 5 o'clock. Get on the bus. So then, the bus took us from the hotel. Mind you, I'm on the bus with people that are actually shipping out and stuff like that. So we go to MEPS. But obviously, so I'm not shipping out. You're not really separated, but in a way you're separated. So I go to MEPS, then I take the test, and then I still have to stay there all the way until my recruiter came to pick me up, because he got the scores. Mind you, we got to MEPS at like 5:30. I stayed there that whole time. But after the time I took the test, my recruiter came and got me and a couple other people that took the test. We was already there. We didn't leave that month until like 5 p.m. Like, you gonna be in that thing for a long time. And like I said, you can't sleep. So you're gonna be in there for a while. And let's just say you pass it, whatever. They say, okay, you passed it. They tell you, you go home, they give you a date to come back. You know what I'm saying? They give you a date to come back. And then they say, hey, you come in at this time, we're going to take you right back down to the hotel. You do this shit all over again, and hopefully you get to sign a contract that same day, because some people didn't get to sign their contract, and it was like a waste of time, right? That's why I said it's worse than a DMV. So like me personally, okay, I signed my contract like last minute during that day before they was about to start going home and closing and stuff like that. So, but the whole more of this is that once you sign a contract, okay, me personally, I'm speaking on Navy preferences, not the other stuff. So once you sign a contract, then they say, okay, you sign the contract, you have to go back to debt meetings. Debt meetings last all the way until you ship out. So the debt meetings are basically, you have to go once a week to debt meetings. You have to go, meet with the recruiter at the recruiting station. And then for the most part, all they do in there is you're standing up and, lined up with your other people that depped in because they signed the contracts. You're lined up and basically you're learning your general orders. So they test you on your general orders. Every debt meeting is different from wherever you are in the country. Like me personally, I'm speaking on my behalf of my debt meetings. Like I said, for the most part, all of them are the same when they tell learning about the general orders, because that's the thing that matters the most. Because when you ship off to boot camp, you're gonna have to know your general orders. If you don't know your general orders, yeah, you're gonna be screwed. You're gonna be effed, basically. So that's the main thing you want to learn first, because that's the main thing that when you go to debt meetings that they're gonna be questioning you about. So like when I was in debt meeting, I did all that stuff, but then but nowadays the rules changed. So now in the military in general, when you in a debt program and stuff like that, they make you do practice test, meaning they make you do the practice fitness test. If you can't pass that practice fitness test, they're not gonna let you ship out because of the rule change. They're not gonna let you ship out. They're not gonna send you there if you can't practice, if you can't pass those. And it's the same test that you're gonna do in boot camp. Nigga, if you can't run 1.5 miles in a certain time, like, you have a lot of time to run 1.5 miles. If you can't do that, then something is wrong with you. You should just think about quitting. Or, because like, okay, take for example, this is one guy. They gave him plenty of chances and he still could not pass it. So they told him, they said, you know what? I don't think you should go. If you can't, I'm gonna give you one more chance. If you can't pass this test, I'm not gonna ship you out. I was like, damn. But think about it. If you can't run 1.5 miles in under what? I think it was like 12 minutes for men. There's something wrong with you. But everything is based off of your age group. Like, take for example, okay. So when I joined, I think I was at the age of, when I depped in, I think I was at the age of, it was in 2017. So I'm 28 now. So if you go back basically 3 years, I was 25. Well, actually, I was 24 going on 25. So I didn't have to do the same time that younger people have to do. I didn't have to do the same amount of push-ups that younger people do, but I still did it because, and even then, when I did the little practice test, shit, I beat everybody and I walked. So it's like you you know, it's you should be able to pass it. If you can't, that's sad. But basically, you have to dep in. You're gonna be going to dep means because usually it takes more than 5 months to ship out. If you join the Navy, it takes more than 5 months to ship out. But no lie, like the dep means they were fun. Had a good time going to them. They prep you and stuff like that. And then, if if you were supposed to ship out probably like a week, 2 weeks to a month before, like mine, they had the chief come in and they talk to us and stuff like that, ask you if you liked your job and stuff like that. If you liked your job, if you were ready to ship out. At that point, what they're doing is they're trying to see if you want to ship out or not. If you really don't want to go to the Navy, you having second thoughts, and you think you can't make it, the best thing for you to do is take advantage of that. Even though you signed your contract, you don't have to. If you tell them like, "Hey, look, I don't think I'll be able to make it. I don't think I'll be able to do it. I really don't want to go." At that time is when you should tell them before you ship out. Because like I said in my previous videos, if you don't speak up and you go to boot camp, and then while you in boot camp after you shipped out and you say, "Hey, I don't want to go. I don't want to be here," and stuff like that. Dude, you literally gonna be there. It could possibly, if you watch some other videos, it could possibly take you a month. It could take you like weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, just for you to go home. So in reality, you wasted your time. Mind you, you're still getting paid if you want to go home, but you're still gonna be there. So if you really don't want to go, don't go. At that point, as what I just mentioned, is your time to say, "Look, I don't like my job. I don't want to do this. I'm not ready. So just go home." That's all I got to say. But in the DEP program is like, no lie, it's actually fun. You don't do nothing crazy. They just, you do like little practice fitness tests for. It's the same test that they're going to give you in boot camp because they want to make sure that you're ready. But like me personally, I didn't ship out for 8 months after I joined. I depped in. And when I say depped in, it's because you signed the contract. So I didn't leave for 8 months after that. That's pretty normal when you talk about the Navy. But like, if you join the Air Force, it's not going to take you as long because there's not that many people that want to go. You get what I'm saying? So like take for example, the Army, you're going to leave in probably like 2 or 3 weeks. Marines, you're going to leave in probably like 2 or 3 weeks because they need people. Air Force, you probably going to, I think the minimum was like fucking 3 months. You're going to basically leave right away. But with the Navy, because everybody is joining the Navy, so that's the reason why it takes you so long. Like, I think the Navy, you have to pass the ASVAB. In general, it says a score. You have to get it like, I think it was like a 35 or higher to join the Navy. But the thing about it is that, it says 35, but because everybody wants to join the Navy, they set the bar higher because it's not that many jobs that are available in the Navy because everybody wants to join the Navy. So like, take for example, like with me, I think I scored a bum 45 because I'm not good at math, but I scored a bum 45, and they told me, they was like, "Oh, you don't qualify," and I'm gonna have to retake it again. But see, luckily for me, some jobs became open, so my recruiter called me like a week later, like, "Hey man, these jobs became available with your score range." So I had 3 choices to pick from. My 3 choices were, it was either I was gonna be a cook on a submarine. Like, mind you, I ain't trying to cook for nobody, dude. I ain't trying to be no cook. Like, what type of is that? I ain't trying to be no cook. The second job was logistics on a submarine. Mind you, like I said, I'm not trying to be on no submarine at all. But it was like, okay. And then the third job was electrician. So I was like, you know what? I asked them before I signed the contract. I said, "Look, I'm not good at math at all because I suck at math. Nigga, I got a D- in high school with math, nigga, and I still graduated." I asked them, I said, look, with the stuff, if I took this, I'll do a lot of math. They told me, they said, no, but you can still do it. So I was like, you know what? See, before I chose these jobs, I sat here. This is the thing that a lot of people have to think about, because if you don't want to do 20 years in the military, you have to think about jobs that you select that you can transfer out here to society. That's what I tell a lot of people. Like, if you really think about it, let's say you sign a contract for 4 years, right? And you're like, okay, I just want to do 4 years because I want to go to school or whatever, but I don't want to do 20 years. You have to select a job that you can transfer out here. So that's the reason why I, chose an electrician. So technically, I was going to be a CB. If you don't know what CB is, it's a battalion. It's basically a construction battalion. I ain't know shit about electrician, but I was like, you know what? I know if I be an electrician in here, I'm gonna be qualified. I have all my certificates, and if after 4 years, if I decided to come out and be an electrician out here, I can get on with Edison, all that stuff real easy. Because Edison, you gonna be making like $8,000, $100,000, $100,000 a year. So you can't just pick any job. You gotta think about your future, which a lot of people don't do that. And that's just real game. That's just me spitting game, real game. You gotta think about the job you choose. Because if you say, hey, okay, I'm gonna drive the tanks, or stuff like that. If you just decide to join the military, hey, I'm gonna drive a tank. Okay, think about it. You don't do 20 years, you do 4 years and you out. What kind of job are you going to get? And you put an application, yeah, I drove tanks in the military, in the Army, the Marines. You ain't gonna get shit. Like, think about that. So you have to sit here and think about what you really want to do in life. You gotta prepare for the future. Like, think about these jobs in the military that's gonna correlate to things out here. So that's what I did. So that's the reason why, I could have did something with logistics and stuff like that. I could have, but it's not gonna make me nowhere near the same money as me being an electrician. And then you also gotta think, like, see, my recruiters, they never told me. I'm gonna be honest. So my recruiters, they never told me. When I signed a contract, they were just like, oh yeah, you're gonna do this. So about a week, like I said, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I had to meet with the chief. So a chief and the petty officer, it was a different petty officer and the chief. I was in a room with them. They was like, so are you comfortable with your job? I was like, yes, I'm very comfortable. I'm ready to do this. And then they were like, did they tell you that you're going to be in enemy territory and stuff like that? And if somebody attacked the base that you at, that you would have to pick up a gun and fight alongside the Marines and stuff like that, the Army, whatever. I was like, wait, what? And it was like, yeah, you're going to have to do that. I was like, yeah, they never told me that. But at the end of the day, I was just like, you know what? I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. Because at the end of the day, I knew what I signed up for. And it's like, you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. You're gonna die someday. You get what I'm saying? But when you sign all your paperwork and stuff like that, you have like a $400,000 insurance policy. So I'm not tripping. I know I gotta die someday. But it's a lot of things that recruiters might not tell you about before you sign a contract. And that's just the truth. So you literally have to ask questions and questions on top of questions. You get what I'm saying? But the military takes care of you and stuff like that. But the whole point of this video is the debt program that you have to do. You got to work out. You got to work out, bro. You got to work out and stuff, like keep your body in shape so you can be ready, get mentally ready for when you leave. Because if you're not mentally ready by the time you leave, shit, I don't want to tell you. Because once you get to boot camp, like once you step off the plane and you beat your petty officer in the airport, you might be having second thoughts. Like, everybody has second thoughts, but it's like them second thoughts is something that you should have had before you left. Because once you get there, like I said in my previous videos and like I said in this video, you should not, don't even think about leaving. Because like I said, you might end, like, take for example, boot camp for Navy is 8 weeks, right? it's still 8 weeks. Take for example, if you want to leave, you might end up being there for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 weeks. You might end up being there for like 5, 6 months. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you really want to go, you should go. Unlike me, ask all these questions before. But at the end of the day, take the debt program serious. Because let's just say if you really want to go, like a lot of people do, and they was like, okay, I'm dead set, my mind's set, I want to go. Take these things, these opportunities serious, because you're going to get in boot camp, you're going to get tested on the general orders, which is something that you have to memorize way before you ship out by you in the debt program. Yeah, because they quiz you on these. So that's the main thing that you want to do, is remember that, I think it's 10 or 11 general orders. It's been a while since I've been, but remember those. Then, once you get to boot camp, whatever, they're going to ask people, hey, who wants to be RPOC or, stuff like that. You should take advantage of those. If you know all your stuff and you know for sure you can pass the general orders, you can pass that test. If you know for sure you can pass the physical fitness test, and when they ask you who wants to be RPOC or APOC, I forgot what it's called, but I know for sure it's called like RPOC and stuff like that. That's like the head honcho of the compartment type shit, and you're gonna get a whole lot more respect and stuff like that if you become one of those, if you do it. But that's a whole lot of responsibility, because you can't fuck up, you can't mess up, you can't fuck up at all. You gotta be on your A game type stuff when you do that. But just know, if you do that, you're gonna be in charge. You basically gonna be in charge of, I don't know, let's just say your compartment is like 88 to 100 people. You're gonna be in charge of all them people, and you're gonna be in charge, and that comes with a big responsibility. But also, the thing that I tell people is that, like, take for example, like with me, I had college credits before I left, so I went in as an E3 because I had substantial amount of college credits. So I was going in as an E3. But just because you're going in as an E3, if you fuck up, they can demote you down to an E2, E1, and stuff like that. But the best thing to do is, if you have college credits, show your college credits, let your recruiter know, so you can go in as an E3. I mean, it don't make a difference, but your pay grade is going to be up here compared to an E1. If you go to the Navy and you already have college credits, they say, hey, you going as an E3, you're going to be a seaman already. Seaman. You ain't going to be if you was an E1, you ain't going to be no seaman recruit. None of that shit. You're going to be higher than them other motherfuckers, so they're going to have to, look up to you. But none of that stuff becomes official until after you finish boot camp. Like, if you ask me, boot camp, it's fun. If like, how can I put it? Like, if you're used to people cursing at you and stuff like that, calling out your name, trying to degrade you and a whole bunch of stuff, you'll do fine. But if you a person that's like sensitive and stuff like that, you ain't never had nobody curse at you, call you out your name, you're gonna have a hard time, because you're like, why you calling me that? Dude, don't say nothing. Don't speak. Don't say nothing unless you're spoken to. That's the best advice I can give people. Because, somebody, commented on my thing. They asked me for advice. The best thing you can do is not say nothing. Don't act until they tell you to act. Like when you first get there, like me personally, I had a good recruiter. So he put my DD214s on top of everything, right? So when I finally, walked up to the part where everybody's sitting down, you see the petty officers. It was like me and like 4 others. And they said, the petty officer was like, okay, flip over till you find your DD14s, right? Me personally, luckily I had a group of people that didn't do nothing until they said act. So she was like, do it now. It was a lady. She was like, do it now. My shit was already on top. So before you ship out, tell your recruiter put them DD214s on top of everything before you ship out, because it'll make your life a whole lot easier, because you ain't got to sit here, flipping through papers trying to find it, because when you meet up with them, they be like, hurry up, do it now, hurry up. A lot of people were sitting there, they couldn't find it. But me personally, I was like, I ripped open my envelope. You can't rip it up because everything is gonna be sealed, and you don't open it until they tell you to open it. Once you get to Chicago O'Hare Airport, whatever it's called, then you open it. My shit was right there. I'm like, motherfuckers was getting cussed out. Hurry the fuck up now, hurry up. But my shit was beep, beep. My shit was right there. I'm like, okay, cool. But then, like I said, if you go, that's how this operate. Don't do nothing until they tell you to do it. Once they say, now go, but they're not going to use these words, now go, that's when you do it. If they say, go ahead and find this, go ahead and turn to your D214s. If you start doing it while they're talking, you're going to get cursed out. You're going to get cursed out. You're going to get yelled at because that's not what you do. You do it when they tell you to do it. And so, like, right now, we're in January, so if you're getting shipped out in, like, March, April, you don't really have to worry about the cold because, it's about to be warming up. So you don't have to worry about it. But if you're shipping out now, I'm going to say this. The only thing you should be taking is your cell phone. Just take a cell phone. That's it. Don't take nothing else. Just take a cell phone. Because that's all you're going to need, right? Now, the reason why I say that is because, okay, like, once you get off the plane, you have meal vouchers and stuff like that. So you can go eat. You can take your time. You can take your time, but don't take too long. Go eat. Go do all that stuff before you meet with the petty officer. Go eat. Use them meal vouchers. Go eat. Talk to the people you shipped out with. Go eat and stuff like that. Then once it's time, the only thing you should have on you is a phone. But once you go, you walk down the stairs. You're going to walk downstairs. Then you're going to meet them on there. But my best advice is don't let the petty officer see that you're on your phone because you're going to get yelled at. You're going to curse that and stuff like that. Don't have nothing on you. That's the only thing I can say. Don't have nothing on you. Because even with your phone, once they see you, they're going to tell you, put your phone in they're going to say, put it in your left pocket. I think it was a left pocket. Put it in your left pocket. Don't take it out. Don't take nothing out. Put it on silent, turn it off, whatever. Put it on silent, that's the best thing. Or unless you want to turn it off. So put it in your pocket. You're going to go sit on the goddamn floor for like fucking 3 or 4 hours until you finally hit the bus. You're going to sit quad. You're going to sit like quad forward. Whatever, I forgot what they call it, but it's like basically you're going to sit in quads. So basically, you're going to be sitting in rows from like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's like 4I something. Basically, you're gonna be sitting in lines 1, 2, 3, 4. So when it's your turn to get on that bus, if you sit in the back of the bus, you can get away with being on your phone, texting and stuff like that, but don't call nobody. But once you get to the base, everything, they do everything and stuff like that. Then they're gonna say, hey, who has their cell phones, right? If you don't have a cell phone, come use the pay phones when you finally call home. The best thing for you to do is have your cell phone. But here's the thing. Don't be no stingy, non-sharing ass mofo. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people listen to what I'm saying and then bring their cell phones and stuff like that. So they're going to expect you to share your cell phone with the people in here that don't have cell phones. Like, call your people first. You only get 2 minutes. Call your people first and say like, hey, whatever. I made it. Hang up. That's it. And then, pass. If you're going to be nice, you can be an a-hole or not. But if you're going to be nice, pass your phone off to this next person, let them go home. I mean, they're going to be crying and stuff like that. But ain't nothing to cry about. Like, But once after that, you're going to go get your clothes and stuff like that. And then you're going to go into this big room where you probably going to be in there with like 60, 80 people, right? Because you had tables like this, right? They're going to say, okay, everybody strip. You got to get bucket naked. This is the most uncomfortable part. You got to get bucket naked in front of everybody. The petty officers, the chiefs, and all that stuff, and all the other recruits. You got to drop your drawers, nigga. This motherfucker. Ain't nobody over here. It's crazy, bro. But anyways, you got to drop your drawers, because at this point, that's when they want you to get into everything that they have. You got to drop your drawers. Yeah, take your drawers off, get completely naked. Everything that you have from civilianness, you gotta take it all off. So you're gonna be butt naked in front of 80 people, right? And then everything you came with, you have to pay to ship it home. That's why I'm saying, just go with a cell phone. Don't come with nothing else. I mean, like, if you said, hey, fucking, I'm gonna go over here with some busted clothes on that I don't care about, you have a chance to throw them away. But your main possession that you want to come with is just a cell phone. Don't come with nothing else. Just come with a cell phone. Because let's just say, I don't know. Let's just say some retarded dude came with, he said, oh, man, I got Louis V jacket. I got, Louis V, handbag and stuff like that. Dude, you literally gonna be paying for shit. Oh my God, hold on. Oh shit, I failed. But let's just be serious. Ignore that. But you're gonna be paying. You pay for everything that you have to ship home. Like literally, it ain't free. You have to pay for it. So like, take for example, you get one big ass box that you can stick everything in, including your phone. If you take more than just a phone, right? You get a phone that you can put in there. You take your shoes off. You take your clothes off. All that stuff. If that stuff can't fit in that one box, you pay like another $40 to ship the rest of it home. And that's just me being honest. Everything goes home. You don't get to keep nothing. I remember one kid, right? I didn't speak on this. I don't think I spoke on it in my other videos. What the hell is you doing, you goddamn dog? Crazy dog, bro. But I don't think I really spoke on it in my other videos. But like, take for example, it was this one kid, right? He was like, this dude had on some busted Jordans. Like, his shoes was busted, bro. Like, I kid you not, his shoes was busted. So he was like, I need another box so I can send my shoes home. It was a chief in there. He was like I think he was like an E10 or something like that, right? Dude was like, you really want to take these shits home? These busted ass shoes? You want to take these shits home? He was like, dude, you gonna make a whole lot of money to buy 10 more pair of these motherfuckers. You wanted to pay another $40 to take this shit home? It was a black kid. He was like, yo, I'm gonna take these home. Nigga, everybody was laughing. I was laughing myself. I mean, I couldn't be like, ha, 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 ha. But, I laughed under my breath. But it was like, dude, I seen the shoes. The fucking soles, dude, I kid you not. The soles was coming off these motherfuckers, bro. The soles was coming off the shoes. And it's like, you really want to pay another $40 to take. I was like, oh, shit. But the only thing I can say is get as much sleep as you can. Because you were literally, when you hear the stories about being up for 48 hours and you can't sleep, that's the truth. Like, get as much sleep as you can. You know what I'm saying? But that's for right now. That's all I have to say from the debt program to the point you ship out. I'm gonna come and tell you guys. I'm gonna upload another video about the shot process. You can be like, damn, what the hell is the peanut butter shot? You might want to look that up because you might want to be prepared. Have one of your friends, stab in your ass cheek or something like that. But until then, to the next video, I'm out.